Boys and girls, we are in for a slightly simpler design. I challenged you a bit with the dice from scratch. Now we're going to try a button, and once in TinkerCAD and signed in, you can go to Learn Again and Lessons. From here we have our difficult choices along the top. I'm going to go See All Lessons. There'll be many choices, and since it's a little bit shorter week and you're technically not having school on Friday, I'm going to allow you to choose any one of these buttons. They get more difficult as you go down the line. The skull and teddy bear, pretty challenging, and so on. Flower button, not terrible if you can follow the directions really close, but the basic button is what we're going to try, just to backtrack a little bit and make sure everybody's able to tinker a little bit. I'm going to choose the basic button, and I have my lesson description right here saying I'm going to use some cylinders to do that, and I can start the project. Once it appears, of course, on my left side, which you may not fully see in this video, I have my instructions on what to do. It says drag a cylinder, so make sure that on the right side you are in the basic shapes section. And off on the far right, I've got a cylinder here that I will bring in and try to place on the orange shadowed one. If you'd like to zoom in, of course, you can use the scroll on your mouse if you have a mouse attached, or you can use the plus sign right here, and you can kind of get yourself going. I'm going to switch this to perspective, actually flat view. I'm going to switch this to flat view so I get a little bit better image of it. Now I'm going to go to my next step. It says scale this down to 2 centimeters. And in order to change that height, I kind of have to rotate this a little bit. So I'm going to bring it down. And when I click on it, you can see these various boxes. So I can change sizes here. If I select the white box near the top, it actually is going to give me a dimension from the bottom to the top of this. And when I get there, I'm going to change this just 2 millimeters. Millimeters are kind of their default here. I'd rather do inches normally, but this makes it pretty simple. Now you can see it's thinner like a coin or a button. Scale the smaller diameter to 16 millimeters. So I will click on one of those corner boxes. I'm going to change this to 16. Oop, actually, I'm going to make an edit. I'm going to change that back to 20, and I'm going to make this one 16 right there. And I'm just going to move it over. Well, maybe we should do both. For me, I'm going to move that right over where it wants me to be, and I'm going to zoom in a bit. I've got 16 by 16 for the diameter, and I can move forward. Okay, wants me to drag another cylinder in. You can see that it's going to go right there. I'm going to make the diameters of these 3. All right. And now that I've got those 3, we're going to make this cylinder whole. I'm going to change my snap grid on the bottom here. If you kind of look at the bottom of your graph area to 0.5 millimeter, as it says in the instructions, so that I can get it to kind of place right where I want it. When I zoom in over here, you can see that I can get, with the arrows on my keyboard, I can kind of get it placed better. If I want to look at the top, I can go up here to this little cube. I can click on top, and I'm going to switch back to perspective view like this, or flat view, and I can see if I'm kind of where I want to be. Okay. And I am going to, well, I am going to copy and paste this. I can do that a couple of different ways. I can go up to duplicate right here, and it will make a second one that I can drag over. Let me try this again. There. And I can place it. Or I can use Control D to duplicate as well. And I might just change my snap down a little bit more. That looks better. And you can see where those buttonholes are now. I'll just pull that over there. Okay. I'm going to select the two of these as holes. So I'm going to make that a hole. I'm going to make this a hole. And then I'm going to highlight or drag and group all of these. And when I merge them up here, it will actually take that set of cylinders that were really tall and turn them into holes. So it's pretty basic right there. And I think I get a little congratulations. It's not a very difficult one. You're trying your best to get this located in the right spot. And it's just kind of a intro, something that I probably should have done first. So we're backtracking, like I said, live and learn. And now you've got a button. If you want to embellish your button a little bit, you can do so. Just make sure it still looks like a button with holes in the middle so that thread could go in it and it could be used on a piece of clothing. At this point, you don't have to do anything else, and it will be checked in for me in a few days. All right.